Okay, timing and roll variation. So this is all based on just 3-note grouping timing. And then we just kind of do some variations based on that. So we have our coconut, coconut, pineapple, pineapple, strawberry, strawberry, apricot, apricot. Okay, so the first and third variation are right hand flow, 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and, right hand's continuous, or 1 and a 2 and a 1 and a 2 and a, so make sure that flowing hand is constant, and then that other hand has kind of a downstroke in there, right? 1 E and 2 E and 3 E, or 1 and a 2 and a. There is kind of a natural downstroke. Make sure it's not just floating up in no man's land, make sure it's down. And likewise, when you do the other variations, it's the left hand flow and the right hand has a single downstroke. One, make sure that the flow and the downstroke have the same color of sound, but also the downstroke has a good look to it where it's finishing down into the drum. The only other issue here is measure 4, going from the to the E in the left hand flow. Do not downstroke. 1 E and a 2 E and E and a. It should be E. It should flow. 1 E and a 2 E and E and E and a. That's why we have check in front to lead you into the right hand flow or lead you into the left hand flow. But that's the only one that puts a rest in between your flow, and you might subconsciously put a downstroke. 16-inch duple timing. Da, 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 da. Single accent shift. Okay, so this is going to start 3-inch check, so we can really check our 3-inch heights. And then you'll have whatever height we prescribe for the accent. I'm just going to do 16, make sure it's a nice pure downstroke. And we're really focusing on our heights. I mean, it's pretty straightforward. Listening for lower interbeat sound quality, making sure your accents don't disrupt the timing, everything should fit into a 16th note grid. Make sure all the heights are perfect. Single accent shift, 16-3. Da, 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 da. Triplet accent shift. So this is basically doing duple timing, but with accents, and you fill in the 16th notes. So where you were going 1 E and 2 E and, now you're going 1 E and 2 E and that the fill-in note is 3 inches. So you could also play this with check down low. You could also play with check up high. But that downstroke that we worked on when we did duple timing is kind of really coming into play here, because now you have an interbeat that depends on your downstroke quality. I'm going to do this a little bit slower so you can really focus in on that downstroke hand and make sure that height is good and it's getting a good sound. Let's do this with check at 3. Triplet accent shift, 16-3. Da, 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 da. Let's try it with the interbeats up. Da, 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 da. Okay, duple rolls 1. Again, this is based on duple timing. So now we're just putting drags into our 3-note grouping pattern. Okay, so where you had 1 E and 2 E and, now we have drag, 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 tap, drag, 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 tap. So you're just replacing the rhythm with drags and then filling in the rest with the 16th note. We're just trying to make sure that the timing of the drags are perfect and the interpretation is perfect as well, and fitting everything into a 16th note grid and making sure everything flows in and out of each variation. So we can do this at all heights. I'm going to do this at 11 first, and then we'll try it down low. Depending on the tempo, you might be doing a push-pull. If we're a little bit fast, try to go for that pump drag. And if we're really fast, it's just drags. Duple rolls 1, 11 inches. Let's go a little faster, 125. Let's do this at 3. Duple rolls 2. I think of this as the first 2 measures are kind of checking your right hand drag interpretation, then making sure it sounds good with a 5, and then make sure it sounds good with a 9. Then the last half is making sure, I think this is the most important one, is making sure you're less than 25, that left drag, that left wants to be early usually, and making sure it has the appropriate space, and then making sure the space continues on a 5, and then make sure the space is also good on a 7. Okay, so again, perfect grid, perfect interpretation of the double, perfect sound quality, perfect flow, just trying to get into the grid perfectly. Okay, you can play this at all heights. Let's try 11, then let's try 3. Duple rolls 2, 11. Duple rolls 2 at 3 inches.